Samson may be the most interesting person in the Old Testament. Certainly his story is. Yet much of what fascinates me has never been highlighted when I've heard it. Possibly, the least interesting thing about him to me was his physical strength. Take that away and you might think there would be no story left, but you'd be wrong. How many individuals in the Bible were specifically prophesied by anyone, let alone the second great leader of the Hebrew people, Joshua? Samson was. How many were foretold personally by an angel with specific instructions? Samson was. How many people single-handedly devastated the Philistine economy, bringing the foreign threat to its knees? Samson did, and without anyone's help, and furthermore without use of his supernatural strength. Did you know Samson didn't want to be known by his supernatural physical strength? What did Samson want to be known for? I will show you as I reveal his story in this series like you've never heard it before. As Joshua saw the end of his days approaching, he called Israel together in an assembly and gave a speech. You can find this speech in Joshua chapter 23. It is in this speech that Joshua tells the people of Israel that one day there will be one man of you who will chase 1,000. That prophecy came to pass with Samson. Samson did chase and indeed kill 1,000 as it is recorded in Judges. He is the only one who qualifies for this prophecy. Joshua 23:10. One man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord your God, he it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you. In Judges chapter 13, the first thing we find out about Samson's mother was that she was barren and had no children. This is quite a messy reality that shows up many times in the scripture. The first command of the Creator found in Genesis 1:28 is to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. It is a command, or at least an expressed encouragement of will and purpose, yet so many women are not naturally able to bring new life to full term. This is so frustrating to many women with this affliction. It is very clear that it is the Creator's will to be fruitful and multiply. Why am I not able to do His first will, one might ask? Notice the specific wording. You are barren and have not borne children, but you shall conceive and bear a son. Conception is only the beginning in a series of processes that are necessary to bring new life to full term. It doesn't say, you have not conceived, though perhaps that may be implied in, you are barren. It may be that there were conceptions and miscarriages along the way. Manoah's wife could have the peace of mind that she would not have to worry about infertility or miscarriages in the coming future. In fact, Manoah's wife goes on to give birth to at least 2 more sons. Judges 16, verse 31. Continuing at Judges chapter 13, verse 8, the first thing Manoah did after hearing from his wife was to pray that the man of God return and teach them what they are to do with this child to be born. This is curious to me. Manoah's wife just told him what they were to do with the child when he was born. She left out his mission of, he shall begin to save Israel, and that there should be no razor on his head. Since she relayed that he was to be a Nazirite, the omission of the razor would have been known to anyone who knew or viewed the Nazirite vow recorded in Numbers chapter 6. I'm not sure how accessible the instructions in Numbers were to them, but I'd be surprised if it wasn't obtainable. Did Manoah not trust his wife? Did he not trust her judgment or trust her integrity? If he didn't, did he have a good reason? As the text shows, she left out some details. Was she prone to forgetting things, or did she just keep it a secret? If so, this may be where Samson inherited his propensity to keep secrets. The angel was sent back specifically to the woman, and she was not with Manoah. Upon the angel's arrival, she runs to tell her husband. She specifically tells him that the same man who came to her the other day returned. But what does Manoah ask when he meets that man? Are you the man who spoke to this woman? Why doesn't Manoah trust his wife? Was she prone to exaggeration? She did tell him in verse 6 that his appearance was very awesome, like an angel. Obviously, this was not the case, at least in the second appearance. Otherwise, it would have been obvious, wouldn't it? Manoah didn't just want to verify what his wife said. He wanted more detail. He asks the angel, how should we guide him through life? What will be his mission? The angel does not satisfy his question, but instead summarizes what he told the woman and refers back to her. It's interesting that her name isn't even recorded, yet she is the one the angel is sent to twice, and she is the one entrusted with the message. Manoah keeps trying to get more information from the messenger, but to no avail. It seems that the messenger doesn't want to talk to Manoah. He wouldn't even tell him his name. Samson inherits some of his father's curiosity, as we see later. As we continue in verse 18, Manoah makes an offering to Yahweh, and when the flame was high, the angel jumped into the flame and ascended toward the sky. No doubt this would be a shocking experience. Every one of us would be shocked and question our understanding of reality. Manoah is so shocked he becomes irrational. We're going to die now because we have seen Elohim. Now, his wife had told him that the man of Elohim, as she remembered, appeared to be like an angel of Elohim, very terrible. He wasn't worried that she was going to die. Now it seems he must have gone from not believing her apparently accurate understanding of what happened to thinking they must have been visited by the Most High himself. Manoah must have heard about the story of Exodus 33:20, where Yahweh tells Moses that no man can see his face and live. This is when Moses asks to see his glory. There was a version of the Most High that dwelt with them from time to time when Moses spoke, face to face. Obviously, if they had seen the angel of Yahweh as Moses had, they had not seen the glory which no man can see and live. Manoah's wife replies to his panicked misinterpretation of Moses' encounter with reason. If Yahweh wanted to kill us, why would he tell us we were going to have a son, give specific instructions as to his life, and receive an offering from us? Good point, lady. We know who the smart one is in this marriage, and where Samson inherited his intelligence. Chapter 13 ends with good news. She gave birth to a son and called his name Samson. Now that the backstory is complete, the fun begins. There are extraordinary similarities between Samson and the New Testament Messiah. Both were prophesied of prior to their birth. Both mothers were visited by an angel. Both fathers questioned the authority of the angelic visitation. Both fathers are given supernatural assurance. Both were firstborn. Both were destined to save their people. Both had supernatural abilities. Both had brides who were not Jewish. Both were betrayed by their own people and given to the foreign authority. Both defied death. Both were knowingly betrayed by close loved one for silver. Both were blinded. Messiah was blindfolded after their arrest and mocked. And both were martyrs who vanquished the enemy with their voluntary death. Don't miss part 2, where Samson's pursuit of a Philistine wife sets off a chain reaction of secrets, sabotage, and supernatural strength. Was it adrenaline, divine power, or both that helped him tear a lion apart? And when he makes a high-stakes bet at his own wedding, betrayal leads to bloodshed. Could this be the moment Samson realizes the cost of trusting the wrong people? Subscribe so you don't miss part 2, a poetic parable, a Philistine plot, and a big, bold bet.
Do you feel stressed out? Do you have a hard time going to sleep or getting good sleep quality? Well, Magnesium by Glycinate. This is the less expensive version, $10 for this bottle. I have an affiliate link below. But if you want maximum absorption, Dr. Berg's Magnesium Glycinate is the way to go. And this has vitamin D and B6. See if you can get a better sleep quality. And yes, you will notice that your stress level will go down if you're magnesium deficient. Click the affiliate links below, whether you want maximum absorption or the budget kind, that's good enough. Know what I mean?
Like this. I'm pumping my tiny fists because that's how hard we're going to fight. Because he wants to save on taxes. How am I even doing that?